Hey, I'm Captain Eddie Castellan. You're tuned into WorldwideWoodturners.com. Well, really don't have the .com thing worked out. But we're a group of woodturners who get together to share ideas. That's right. I want your ideas, your... Really, the guy in the back? I don't think I want to talk to him. But if you want to share an idea, you send it to me, and we'll talk about it right here on Worldwide Woodturners. All you have to do right now, you got to watch. Hey, while we're getting together today, I'm in seclusion. Solitary? Lockdown? Well, really, I'm out to save my life. So I won't touch another human being, well, except my wife, right now until this pandemic is over with. I hope you're staying safe, you're staying clean, and you are healthy. Hate to lose a viewer, really, and a good friend, because that's what you are, good friends. I told you we're in solitary. Yeah, this is what it's come down to. I know in other parts of the world that happens, but my doctor's visits are now virtual. Yeah, that's what they call it. We do it on this, right here, on the screen. We got to program it, and I'm looking at the doctor. They're looking at me. We're talking through the situation. If it seems like I need to go to a clinic, we'll go to a clinic. But that's the last resort. I mean, I need blood work done right now. I think we'll do it in 3 weeks, if they're still there. But hey, take care of yourself, please. A couple of weeks ago, I told you I had some restrictions on me. They're coming to go. Okay, it's because I had some seizures. But I'm doing a whole lot better right now. And if I stay off of them and don't have any of them, I go back to driving in July 1st. And we're playing it real tight to get there. But they put restrictions. One of the guys in the group yesterday asked me, why don't I go out to the shop and do this from the shop? Not permitted. Why don't we go just to the canopy out back? Not permitted. This is it. I can come to the front porch. I'm not supposed to get on the back steps. I cut the grass last week. That was found to be illegal, even though I had the chaperone with me. But things are getting better. And through the miracle of drugs, the real drugs, we're getting much better. All right. Now, when I'm sitting around, I'm working on the newsletter for Worldwide Woodturners. It's called Turning Point. Now, the way Turning Point works is a whole lot of things. Number one, I take photographs that you send me by email, and I put them in there so people can see what's going on. They get to look at some of the best wood turning in the entire world. Yours. So send me a photograph of your finished work. I got one yesterday. Ronnie, one of my buddies, sent me. It's a segment of bowl. It'll be in this month's issue. It's kind of rough. I tell me, you got to put it back on lathe and round it out. You'll understand if you look at the newsletter. And he told me he's going to try to do that today. But send me artwork of your work, please. And if you can do it in a couple of stages, I'd like to see log, rough in, finished piece. And if you're using a finish, let me know about it, because I'm still exploring finishes. We covered a whole lot on super glue a couple of weeks ago, or CA. And I've gotten asked about using OB Shine Juice, polyurethane, spray-on deft, other spray-on finishes. We're working on all those. Now, this week in the newsletter, I have an article about fancy wood turning tools. Always looking at those, because I got them hanging on the wall. Might as well do something with them. And we're going to talk about flattening corian to put them together. Yeah, I'm going to dispel some myths on that and some real stories, because I can put it together and you won't find the joints. We'll talk about that. But that's going to be in this month's Turning Point, or this week's Turning Point. You see, I can only sit around and share this information, and the information you send me. That's all it is. Pardon me. And if you've got information you like us to cover, send it to me at the email address we put up. CAPN Eddie Castellan at gmail.com or worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com. Either way, I get them all on this thing right here. Coming up, in a few minutes, I'm going to transition to show you some work and some ideas about work and some of my learning problems. Things I did 10 years ago, 12 years ago that I now know how to get around and get past. I've found new tools, new methods, pretty much a new way to do it to eliminate some problems that we all get. All right. And speaking of problems, one of my buddies, the guy's going to make the piece round, last week introduced me to Zoom. Yes, Zoom, Zoom, Zoom. Looks like zero, huh? All right. Zoom is a program to where on your computer right there, you can join me on your computer right there. And you can join that guy and that guy and that guy and that guy and maybe the other guys too. Where we can put up to about 30 people on one Zoom screen. Well, we won't be all together, but we'll all be together. And we'll all be looking at me until you want to ask a question. And you raise your hand. Well, you don't really raise your hand. You click the little button that says raise your hand. And then I'll know and I go, hey, Bob, what do you got? And everybody will see what Bob's asking. And if you get silly, I'll cut you off. No. But it's a chance. It's live. It's a chance for all of us to get together and share our ideas. Now, we're going to play with this program, but I need some input from you. If you're interested in being part of Zoom, and hey, the program's free. And it can be expanded. I'll work on that, but budget really doesn't exist. So we do that. But hey, back to it. If you're interested in being part of Zoom and seeing how this even works, all you have to do is send me an email to Captain Eddie Castellan, CAPN, Eddie Castellan at gmail.com. That's the only address I can take those at, because that's the one I'm going to be relating the names and addresses from. Address being your email address. And they don't get that. That's my stuff. So you're not joining a club that's going to invite you to save money on your car insurance. Or get this, for you older guys, your tuition or your student loans. We all came from where student loans came out of your daddy's pocket or your pocket. That's it. It's called Zoom. We're going to look at that. And oh yeah, by the way, a couple of weeks ago I mentioned that the AAW symposium for June was having some difficulties. They don't have any anymore. It has been canceled. There will not be an AA symposium this year because of the health problems. Now, I'm waiting to hear about SWAT and a couple of other groups in the world that get together with fantastic symposiums. So as I get those, I will share them with you. And that way we're all on top. But better than that, if you make reservations for AAW for a hotel or a car and airplane, you better get out of them real quick. All right? You want to talk about some work we do? It's coming up right now. Hey, we're back to talk about work. We didn't really go anywhere. That's a phrase I use until we shall return. You didn't go anywhere. All right. I've got some pieces I did. This is a piece of, I believe it's maple. I did it way back in 2013. It was piece 248 that year. Pretty busy that year. But I made this piece and I shaped it. I did like the shape, and when it sits on the table, it doesn't wobble or rock or anything because it's got a nice flat bottom on it. And I stained it with one of the stains I get from Craft Supplies. I like to remember the name of it, but I can't, and I can't go out there and see what it says. All right, but I stained it with that, and then I sanded it back out, and then I sanded the stain, then I recoated it because I don't want any holidays in it. Sanding it back out loosened up any spots that wouldn't absorb the dye or the stain. All right, and then I put a good coat of sealer on it, and then I topped it with CA. Yeah, get this. The sealer went on, and then the CA. All right, go ahead and argue. All right, it's okay. But my belief is when I put the sealer on, I unified the surface. I made it all the same. So I'll take my Deft. I like Deft. I take my Deft sealer, and I put it on, and I put a coat on, and it takes about 3 or 4 passes to make the thing. Remember, if you stay too long, the blue napkin or blue paper towel will stick. Then you got a problem. All right, but I made the little wipes. Then I took I call them Brillo pads, but they're those Scotch-Brite pads. and I went with a medium, and I knocked down any spots, any holidays. Then I put another coat of CA on it. Then I took a really good look at it. Now what you're looking at is your finished product. So if you got some holidays or some skips or some gaps, again, rub it down with that Scotch-Brite, and then come back and put another coat on it. Remember, you can put 25, 30 coats on it. As long as humidity doesn't get to it, it won't frost. And if you let it cure for a minute, put the accelerator away. You don't want the accelerator. You want the air, the moisture in the air to cure it. If you spray with accelerant, you're going to get some highs and lows because you can't spray it evenly. I don't care if it's running. You can't spray it evenly. Then you put it on there. When you get it all done, then you take it over to your buffing wheel, white diamond, not red, not brown, white diamond, and you buff it out, and you take out the little ridges that you put in when you were putting it on. There will be some little ridges in, but if you just buff it back and forth, you'll take that out and be slick as you see, glass. Yeah, you see yourself in that one? Yeah, right there. Okay? Now, what I learned when I was turning this piece, and I get to get the light right, do you see that in the bottom of the piece? That's a divot. Just like them golfers do on a golf course. That's a divot. Now, what happened? I went down the inside with my Ellsworth tool. I even had it turned up on the side so it did a good slice. And then I went back and sanded it. But I didn't eliminate, I'm going to get over here to get the light right. I did not eliminate that divot. Why? Because my Ellsworth tool cutting down like that at a 65-degree angle on the front. David Ellsworth likes a 55 to 65 degree angle. It's not that critical. In fact, it's extremely not critical. But that's what he recommends. You want to know how to grind yours and what his preferences are? David gave me one of his worksheets at a meeting one time when he came to turn for our club. And I have that on my personal website, EddieCastellan.com, under sharing information. There's a whole list of things that's there. And it's things people have shared with me over the years. But that's the 55 to 65 degree angle. And as you can tell, I ran out of room to turn around the bottom because of that sharp point. Then I resharpened it to about a 45 degree angle, 45, maybe 40. Don't hold me to that, all right? And then when I went down, I go, because this lip is in the way, I go all the way to the bottom and clean it out. One smooth cut. All right, don't have that, you can't afford it. You have a scraper? You have a bull nose scraper? I don't like square scrapers. Square scrapers, oh boy. I don't like square scrapers. Okay, you take your bull nose and put a good burr on it. Remember the deal about scrapers? And you can't do this with carbide. You roll the edge on the scraper back up, and that puts a little burnish on top of the scraper, and that's what you're cutting with. Now, it's only going to last about 3 passes before you got to redo it again. And what's it take? It takes a diamond stone, turn the thing bottom up. That's the noise a sander makes, a diamond stone makes. And you put the little edge back on the scraper, and when you go in, and you only need to clean up a little bit. You can take any tool marks out. You can eliminate that bottom in there, and you'll end up with something that's a whole lot better than this ugly thing. Because if I get back out there, I'm going to vacuum chuck this on probably my 4 or 5 inch vacuum chuck. I'm pull it in there, get it lined up true by putting here's what we do. I'm going to take my Longworth chuck and put it on my tailstock with an adapter that I have to put the Longworth on the tailstock. So, and then I have this in the Longworth, and then I'm going to push this against my vacuum chuck and get a good vacuum on it, and then I'm going to pull the Longworth away. Now, why did I do that? Because I want this to be running true. Right here, this whole thing to be running true. And then I can go into my scraper and take little scrapes to clean this up and shape it up. I have enough wood left down there, but I just want to shape up that little bump and get it out. Then I'll stain it again and seal it again and then put the CA on it again. That's what it takes to make this thing look right. Although it is a nice piece, it's got a lot of shine to it, it just doesn't click. Now I might have to stop this a couple of times because I got to get some work out. I've got this out. See this? That's the ornamentation on the top of a small jar done with Lazilla. Yeah, you can build a Lazilla, but With the store-bought parts, it cost you about $1,000. If you're a real mooch, hey, you get away a lot cheaper. All right, this is a nice little jar I did, but it's got a screw-on lid. Now, can you see a little glint of gold in that lid? All right, because that's when I was early doing this. I didn't reset the ring, but this has got this. The ring came from Lee Valley Veritas. You see that ring? Then there's a matching ring that's got threads on it over here, and I've recessed the base of that ring into that piece. I was holding it like this, and then I could cut the recess. Same way here. I could hold it on the back and cut this recess. You don't have to fool with threads. You got the little recess. But hey, before you glue it in, you screw it down where it's supposed to go. And then before you glue it, you shift this around until you get a grain match. Especially if you've got a nice hot grain or something that really stands up. Now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 critical areas that I can see the grain match in. And when you screw it down, you got that grain match. If you got it tight, people will go, ooh, wow, how'd you do that? Oh, wait, there's another way. You see that joint right there? You want to screw them up? Put a burn mark below it, and then a burn mark below it, and a burn mark above it, and a burn mark above it. Do what you want to do. But that hides the joint, because you also burn mark the joint. Yeah, it's when you get a little sneaky. But that's a good piece. I did this well. This is coming from 2012. It was piece number 124 that year. And when I went to rechuck it to clean up the bottom, you got to follow along with me, because if you can hold it, you can turn it. I made a filler block. I can talk. That I could slip this over. What I did was I made a block, and then I put a piece of tissue paper, toilet paper. That's my wife thinks I'm crazy. I take toilet paper to the shop. Then I put a piece of toilet paper on it, and then when I forced it on, it stayed. I could bring my soft touch up. Y'all know what soft touch is. It fits on my revolving center, right? And it puts a little bearing on it, on this, so I can make sure it's running true. And I can do a little work on the outside to clean up the outside with soft touch in place. And then I ease the soft touch back, and I can clean up that shoulder and flatten out that bottom and put a little ornamentation. See the little ring? That's simple ornamentation. Do 2 rings, 3 rings, 5 rings. Put your own logo, your own symbol on it. I can tell you that I watched, Hannes Mikkelsen do one in a cowboy hat where he put his sharp pointed on a scrape, on a slice, and put a circle that would start small and end up larger, going out to look like a curl. And boy, it's great. I've tried it. I'm going to go through the top of the hat, but it works. Next, I'm going to show you a project that won me first place in a competition at our wood turning club, but got to get it up here. When you're in a wood turning club, it's sometimes a fantastic way to learn what other people do, how they handle it, how they hold it, how they turn it, how they finish it. And remember, finishing is finishing the piece. It's not slopping something on to hope it looks good. So I got this idea, and I went to the Winn-Dixie grocery store right near us, and I bought a pear. Yeah, I bought a pear, and I turned the pear. That's a stem from a pear I borrowed from Winn-Dixie. All right, it's got the little splits on it, like the pear I bought from Winn-Dixie. It's got the little speckles on it. I dyed it green. I put a coat of sealer on it, and then I rubbed it out a little bit, Scotch-Brite, and then I put another coat of sealer on it, and then I took my Sharpie and I put the dots all over it. That's how the other one was. So that's how I made my pear. But that's not the only thing I made. I also found a nice apple. Now, grandkids playing with it, they pulled the stalk out because they thought they could eat it. All right. Here again, I played with the stain a little bit. You can see I got a little red on one side, a little green. See, red, green, red, green, red, green. See, it's your stain, your piece. You can do what you want. And then I sealed it. I buffed the sealer off. I sealed it again, and then I coated it with Deft. That was a satin Deft, not a glossy one, because I want this to stand out a little bit. So then I had that apple. and I went over and found a plum. This is an overgrown plum. That's all they had. Same thing, kind of stem there, got the bottom roughed in. I made it nice and red, did the exact same finish. 2 coats of sealer, buffed it off. That gets all the crap of it. I'm not supposed to say that. That gets all the stuff off of it, so it's a good smooth surface. And this is smooth. And I don't want to be buffing this later because I don't want to shine. This is Deft Matte, and it gives a little bit of gloss to it because that's what the plum actually look like. And while I was in there, I found a nice, small, red, delicious apple. And you see, I went down the outside with my shaping tool, and I put, yeah, because you're looking at it, I'm not. See, I put the little crease because that crease was in that apple I looked at. And I got one on the other side, too. And then a little plus at the top because that was on the apple. And it kind of disappeared on the bottom. And the same thing, I mixed up the stain with the red with a little bit of yellow to get a lighter red, because you can do that. You can mix them together. You can even get a purple. All right, and then I had 2 coats of sealer, and I rubbed it off a little bit and then sprayed it again. All right, you would think that this was really a good project. It's a fun project, but hey, you get it up here. This was the project. It was a platter with the 4 pieces of fruit. Now I was turning a banana, and I know how to do it now. I'll show you one day. But I did these 4 pieces of fruit, and then I played with the platter a little bit and put a couple of birds on it with my burning tool. Yeah, I did that. I went to the computer and printed out some birds about that size. And then I went out with Elmer's glue, not spray glue, Elmer's glue. I stuck that little thing on there. And then I burned right through the paper into the birds. And then I chucked, while it was still with the chuck base on. See the chuck base? All right. Then I went back and sanded it again, and that took all the paper off. I used white glue because when you burned it, it disappeared. But it'll come back off the wood pretty good. If you use one of the really good wood glues or a spray glue, it won't come back off. It'll leave a blotch. But that got me first place in the competition. Not that I'm bragging, but a guy gave me an idea about how to do this. Now, turning I gotta move this off the side, one way or the other. I gotta move it off the side. Hold on. Thanks for being patient with me. I'm working off the front porch. See that big tree? That big tree back there? That was here long before this 100-year-old house was here. Yeah, and a long time before that house, where over there was here. This is one of the older houses in the neighborhood, and that's when it was farm lots, not residential lots. In fact, we had a pony stall in the back that was right behind where my shop is. But I like sitting out here. I get a nice breeze. I get some light, not too much because of drugs. But I really like being out here because I can share ideas with you and me. Now, as I told you earlier, I'm in solitary. Groceries are delivered. The doctor doing on the screen. The nurse is not permitted to come by. And she's a cute little thing. You wonder why I wouldn't let her come by. But I don't want to make contact with another human being. My wife either. Because if we get this, we're both not in great health. Remember, she broke both legs falling off the steps. And she's finally able to put weight back on one of them. She's been able to walk on one, and now she can just put a little weight on the other. So she's walking with a walker and getting around pretty good. I throw a button a wheelchair and take her out in the car for a little drive. We got to do that anymore because they got a restriction on when you can be out, where you can be. In fact, they put fences up at the state lines. They really don't want us escaping. But I'm still here working on newsletters and programs, and I'm still looking to get information from you. And don't forget, we have 2 emails to send it to. CAPN Eddie Castellan at gmail.com and worldwidewoodturners at gmail.com. That's our 2 email addresses. I'm still working on that website. The guy that said he'll build our website when he got a little time, he didn't get any time. So we still want to get a website built where we can store these things. Until then, I'm putting the newsletters on my personal website. I don't have any place else to go with them. My personal website is Eddie Castellan at Cox. my personal, I'll get all this right. My personal website is eddiecastellan.com. And on there, on this side of the screen, they have the items that you can check. Go to the one that says Worldwide Woodturners Newsletter. Can they make it any more simple than that? And then you get a PDF. Why? Because I heard from guys that say, I can't read anything on Facebook. I can't either. I just take my 2 fingers and blow it up because I'm working on a Mac. I blow it up and I can read it. But I wrote it so I can read it. So now I put it on that website so you can go there. You can print that PDF. Once it comes up, boom, boom, put it on paper and you can save them. Save them a lot now because there's information you can share with your friends. They'll think you're a genius. Right, that's what we're going to do. So let me tell you, I told you about that. Told you about the thing. Oh, wait. I got to tell you what we're going to do next time we're here. Yeah, me and you. Or you and me. I'll get that right. Next time we get together, we're going to do platters. You like that? All right. That is actually a simple platter I did in year 2000. I was playing around, and I had some dunnage work. Some strips I could cut it out of. I got 3 different colors of wood, plus the accent here. That's a piece of maple that's in there. You got to be careful when you select this wood. I'll tell you this early. It's all got to be seasoned about the same. If you try to do something with green wood or right off the shelf wood, it's probably going to shrink or swell or something, blow it up. I got pieces that I've watched blow up. Or heard them blow up and looked over and said, where'd that plate go? Big pile on the table. But I've got a whole series of these to show you. This one is relatively simple to make. I'll show you how. I think I might be able to show you the jig. I'll get Ronnie to do the jig and I'll show you that one. Because Ronnie's at the doing segments in bowls. I'll get him at the platters. I got one of my friends in the platters, and he says, I'm turning platters. I went over to look at him, and they're all about that big around. I said, is that a platter? He said, it was when I started cutting on it. Noodles has had no luck with cutting platters. He's got a whole series of tea dishes and tea plates, but not platters. But we visit again, we're going to talk about how to do platters. It's a pretty good skill builder from gluing up segments in a flat mode to holding them, because I took the hold off the bottom. See that? I was holding it number 4 set of jaws. I put it in my Longworth and cleaned all that up. And then I got rid of that. And oh yeah, you see this? Where is it at? See that clip? I put that clip on with some epoxy. Why? Because I want to hang this on the wall in the garden room, just like that. All I need now is a little bit of nail and hang it up. Now, if you don't choose to do that, you get that plate stand at the gift store or the gift wrap store. They get those plate standers. You can do that. But I ran out of flat space in the house. So now I have to do where I can hang them on the wall. And we have them all over the garden room, which is our den. And they look good. Management puts her quilts up in there because she makes quilts all the time. And I put on my plates, and I got my display case and all. But display case is getting a little thin, because if you look at something and say, oh, I'd like to have that, I give it to you. You know why? Because wood turning is about wood sharing. I'm not out to make a buck at it. That's a fool's dream. I'm sorry, that's my opinion. But I'm out to practice what I like, and it's out to turn wood and make new art, and then make people happy with the art I do. And that's what you can do. No matter what you turn, no matter how you turn it, no matter what you think about it, somebody would really like it. So when you get a chance, give away some of your art. Make a friend, let them understand what's going on, and show it to your buddies. Because, hey, they can buy a lathe and compete with you. All right, I'm Captain Eddie Castellan, and you've been here for Worldwide Woodturners. Not .com, just Worldwide Woodturners. I'm going out to the shop. I'd like to go out to the shop and make some shavings. But I'm still working on a newsletter. Look for it on Facebook. Is that? No, not Facebook. Yeah, it's Facebook. Under Worldwide Woodturners or Eddie Castellan. That's what we put it at, Facebook. I get all these names and stuff mixed up. Whew. Can't be old age because I ain't old enough yet. See you soon. Take care. Get out there and make some shavings.